Yo, what's up guys? Your boy Obi Eats and welcome to my very first YouTube video. We're gonna be exploring Downey, California best taco spots ranging from Birria, Al Pastor, Fish. Downey hosts one of the biggest Hispanic populations in all over Los Angeles, so there's bound to be a lot of competition. So we're gonna be checking out some of my top recommendations. So let's go on this foodie adventure. All right, so the first spot we're gonna be going to is Senor Birria. They specialize in just birria. Now, it's very common for a lot of taquerias to actually just focus on one type of style of meat or basically one type of style of cooking. That's how they kind of stand out from the rest, because if everyone is saying that we're just a Taco Bell or a Del Taco out here, but they do specialize in birria. And what's special about them is they've only been open for only a couple years and they already became a fan favorite here in the city of Downey. So let's go inside and check them out. I'm super excited to try out their tender birria. The thing falls off the bone. There's actually no bone, but it's crazy to see how tender it is. So let's go inside and check them out. That's how they make their fresh salsa that goes with all their meat. It's just a big pot and they're just letting that thing run. So they're grabbing the birria from the big old pot. Look at how tender this thing is. Look at that. Goodness. And it's been cooking for almost 7+ hours? 7+ hours. And they always have a batch ready to go. After they're done with this pot, they go with another batch right there. Now you notice that they use 2 butcher knives, but honestly, I feel like it's unnecessary because how tender the meat is. Like, you can use your hands to break this up. Nice. Look at that meat right there. That right there is the consomme that he puts onto the meat. This is what keeps the meat very tender and juicy throughout the whole time. So what I like about this place, they do fresh tortillas for their tacos every single time. They have experts just flattening out the masa, making it into perfect circles, and just laying it down on the griddle. And folks, I didn't speed this up. This is actually real time on how fast they go. And it's crazy to see that they can portion out the tortillas just so it's just enough to be flattened out and be the consistent size that it is. And boom. So when you come here and you order tacos, it's always gonna be fresh because everything from the meat coming from the pot to the tortillas being cooked on the grill. And you see how she's using her hands to basically flip the tortillas. Now, most folks would use a tong, but she's that good. And they don't take that long to cook, like maybe less than a minute. That's the quality right there. Fresh tortillas tend to be a lot better in terms of cooking quality, and in my opinion, has a better taste than store-bought tortillas. And then once they're kind of near, she grabs them all, dips it in the oil that's from the meat that you saw earlier, and then she finishes off with the birria oil. So pretty much all parts of that pot is being used. The consomme, the oil, and the meat is all being used. So nothing's wasted here. And then puts it on the plate, and we're just ready to add the meat and everything else. Now we add the meat to the tacos. And then we add the consomme for a little extra juice. And then we add a onion and cilantro mix to it, and that's it. It's fast like that. There's the consomme. Very much needed for these tacos. Check out these tacos right here. Now I know what you're thinking. It's a little oily, but that's kind of the point, because if your taco's a little too dry, it's not gonna be an enjoyable experience. A handmade tortilla, birria, tender meat, and all you gotta do is you grab your consomme, and you have to get consomme for this. You dip it into the taco, and you just enjoy. I think what does it for me is the handmade tortilla. You can just tell how tender this thing is. You can just break it apart just by pulling it. And the best part is this place does Dog Taco Tuesdays, which not that many places do, especially in the LA County, but they do. Nice.
Nice.
So I give this spot at least an 8.9 out of 10. The tortilla was on point. Handmade is always a plus in my books. And honestly, if you're a taqueria that's always doing handmade tortillas, I already know it's gonna be a good spot. There's a couple things to kind of see how well a taco shop is doing, and handmade tortilla is one of them. The tender meat, You can't get it anywhere else. Beef is the way to go. And honestly, I'm pretty excited for the next spot, so let's go and check them out. All right, so we're gonna be going to the next top taco spot in Downey, California. They actually have this giant trompo that they have just rotating around, and it just has this nice, delicious, savory meat that's been cooking throughout the day. And once it's ready to be sliced off, they have an amazing chef just slicing it right off the trompo. And this thing is crazy big. They specialize in what's called al pastor, which is very popular here in LA. But I think this spot, in particular in Downey, does the best, and they're very generous with guacamole. So I'm pretty excited for this one. So let's go and check them out. All right, guys, here is the big trompo that I've been telling you guys about. This thing is just layers of pork on top of each other. And basically what's happening here, there's a fire source in the back, and the thing is being rotated. And as it's being rotated, it's being cooked in the exterior, but the interior is still undercooked. So you gotta wait a little while for the taco to be cooked. But pretty much that al pastor is cooked to perfection, nice and juicy how it's supposed to be. And right there, that's the fresh handmade tortillas you saw earlier. And my man Richard is just cutting it off the trompo with precision. And you see that he's only cutting pretty much the very thin layer outside, and he's rotating it around so he makes sure that he only gets the cooked bits. And once it's ready, he just puts it in the tortilla and it falls right there. Now I got myself 4 of them, but look at the juices that's just falling out of the pastor. Honestly, you don't find these in a lot of taquerias. Most places would just cook it in batches, but it's one of the few taquerias that actually has a trompo inside. But it's very much a very popular street item. And that right there, 4 tacos right there. Boom. And now we add the rest of the condiments. Here's my favorite part. Because we got al pastor, we're gonna get a little bit of onion cilantro in there. Onion cilantro right on top of the tacos. And then we get the guacamole. And they are actually very generous with it. You get it just enough for every single taco. Look at that. They just slap it right on top. And then because we got al pastor, it traditionally comes with a piece of pineapple for that sweetness, because the meat is kind of savory, so you need that sweetness to cut it with it. And that right there, al pastor tacos. Here we go, the al pastor tacos. And these are pretty much ready to go. All right, you already know, let's do it. The fresh meat has a nice bit of fat to the pastor. The pineapple just cuts the spiciness to it. And then the guacamole and the onions right there. Sweet and savory, what can we ask for more? So those were the al pastor tacos. Very tender meat. The fat was in the pastor. And what I like about that place is they use the pineapple to really cut the fat with the pastor. Honestly, on my scale, a 9 out of 10. For this one, tacos were made handmade with the tortillas, and the best part is they cut the meat straight from the trompo. I love taquerias that pretty much make sure that the meat is always fresh. I think that's a big plus in my books, like Señor Birria with their tender birria meat that they cook 24-hour sessions, or this al pastor where the meat is pretty much cooked as it's being sliced off. So on to the next spot, and let's go. Okay, so we're at the last spot of the taco tour here in Downey. We're gonna be going to Emporio Sushi and Mariscos, a spot in Downey that specializes in Sinaloan seafood, okay, Mexican seafood. But they're actually also known for their seafood tacos. They got a very unique fish taco that no one else has. And honestly, I'm pretty excited. I haven't been here in a while, and honestly, I've been craving their fish tacos. So let's go inside and check them out. So one of the reasons why I like these type of fish tacos, because it reminds me of a tempura style with the way they compound and prepare it. So they have a white fish cutting it up right now. And this Mexican restaurant is based in Sinaloa, but they have this really delicious like tempura style fish taco. Then they're gonna take the fish pieces right now, and then they're gonna put it into a batter mix. So they got the dredge right there, and then they got the sort of the breading. Kind of reminds me of a panko breading. They make sure it's coated nice and evenly. Okay, nice. Once it's ready to go, he puts it onto the deep fryer, nice and gentle, because these are very delicate fish. So he has to be very quick with the way he puts it down. Nice. And this takes about a couple minutes to cook, since it is fish. Now we're putting the tortillas down. We got the greens, a little bit of lime on the side. And this right there is a house special salsa made specifically for their fish items. Tortillas being warmed up. So you see the fish is kind of getting golden brown. It's just like a jacuzzi in there. It's just like a jacuzzi in there. Now it comes out of the fryer, and look at that golden piece right there. Now he's gonna put it onto the bowl. Look at that. Grab the tortillas, and ready to roll. Puts down the tortillas down. They're nice and piping hot. Make sure it's in a 3 formation. Perfect. Now you add some tomatoes on all 3 tacos. A little bit of cabbage, and then onion cilantro right on top. And this right here is the chipotle sauce that he puts on top. Nice even amount. And these right here are some of the best fish tacos in Downey. All right, now it's time to dig in. First of all, squeeze that lime onto the taco. That's always a must for these kind of fish tacos. You definitely want the acidity from the lime onto the fish itself. And then make sure you get this type of salsa right here. It's sort of like a watery salsa, but it's meant for the fish tacos. So just make sure, just lay it on right here. These are roasted peppers inside. You could just see the char in the salsa. These are ready to go. So make sure you grab a nice thick boy right there. And these are big. These are really big. Look at them compared to my size of my face. All right, cheers. The batter is so crunchy. The fish is so delicate. You can eat these all day. This restaurant is based out in the Sinaloa region, but these crunchy tacos are crazy good. Tortilla is nice and warm, but that's like the benefit of like eating tacos straight out of the kitchen. No wait time, just go right into it. This is the freshness you're expected to have. And these type of tacos you have to sit down and eat because you can't just walk around and eat them on the go. You have to eat them here because you gotta enjoy that crunchy batter and that soft fish. We'll take another bite. Okay, honestly, I really like those deep fried fish tacos. Honestly, that sauce, that chipotle sauce on top, chef kiss right there. That right there is at least an 8 out of 10 on my books. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for coming on this taco tour of Downey, the Mexican Beverly Hills. Stay tuned for more. We're gonna be doing a lot more different episodes out here. Burger spots, pizza spots, you name it. We're gonna be doing all sorts of types of food content. So before you go, subscribe down below, like, and of course, let me know where I should go next, and peace.